with you a few words, and I know Mickey will introduce herself way better, but I think we met like about 8 months ago. She's absolutely amazing pricing strategist for women, and she's also a founder of the Luxury Business Blueprint. That sounds absolutely delicious, Mickey. And the Six Figure Breakthrough Mastermind. So let me welcome to the stage Mickey Wright. Mickey, thank you so much for being my co-host today.
Hi, Asha. I'm so honored that you invited me to do this. I think this is so exciting. So thank you so much. I am, like you said, I'm a pricing strategist. It's like I really help women to level up and charge what they're worth. And, beyond that, we start to work on other profit strategies as well as leadership skills because it's such a key thing and we're not born with it. And so we need the training and being able to really guide and scale our businesses. And just to, let your audience know, it's like my background is in the beauty industry. I started as a struggling hairstylist, and I actually quickly was able to kind of turn things around. And so I've spent a lot of my career sharing those types of things. Like many in my industry, I aspired to own a salon, and I was able to realize that dream. And then I became one of the first African American owners of a full service salon and day spa in the country. Thank
My
you.
goodness, you are really outstanding.
Thank you so much. But I really have a passion for helping women to really empower them, to really stand in their own light and really, charge their worth, obviously, and really be the leaders that we were born to be. So I'm excited to have this conversation.
I am so glad that you could join us today and will be able to share your wisdom. So honored to have you today and your amazing guests. So let's invite to the stage April.
Hi, April.
Hi,
Um,
Nikki. Hi, Aisha.
Hi.
Yeah, April is an amazing mortgage loan officer. She's an author. It's like she's a trainer, and she has a heart of gold. It's like we met about a year ago at there's a group that I'm part of that's called Wifey for short, but it's Women in Finance, Entrepreneurship, Education, and
I love that.
Empowerment. And so there's a group of us, and we had a summer brunch last year, and April and her company were one of the sponsors of it. And so it was really a delight to meet her. And she's definitely a powerful, passionate person, and she's really good at what she does. So I'm honored that you're here, April. Thank you.
Thank you so much, April. Share something about yourself, a little bit more.
Thank you all again for having me. I'm really excited to be on here today to share, to talk about prosperity and leadership. I guess to kind of delve a little bit deeper into what I do. So, as a mortgage loan officer, and I know that word officer sounds intimidating, but I assist those who are looking to purchase a home, who want to achieve the dream of home ownership. So, I talk with any buyer about their finances, income, debt, what things look like. So I'm really passionate about potential home buyers, but I'm also passionate about real estate agents and just real estate in general. So I actually wrote a book called The Growth Playbook, a real estate agent's daily success plan, which was written specifically for real estate agents to help them to grow and learn and of course become leaders in the industry as well. So love what I do, really passionate about it. Can't really imagine myself doing anything else. I'm living the dream right now. I still have some other aspirations and things I'm looking to achieve, but I'm definitely on track.
Thank you so much, April. That was such an amazing and inspiring introduction. I'm so honored that you've accepted the invitation and show up today. All right, my dear. So let me invite to the stage Arnetta. Mickey, would you like to share a little bit about Arnetta today?
Yes, well, Arnetta is in the beauty industry as well, and she is a dynamo. It's like she's not only in the beauty industry, but she's a leader in having her own insurance agency, and she has a mind for tech as well. And it's like she has introduced this amazing software, Be and Vibe, and
Mm.
incredible as a person who coaches and that type of thing, I need to see your numbers. I need numbers. And it's like a lot of times we don't have that at our fingertips. We don't know what they are. We don't know where they are. And her software just simplifies the entire, not only booking system, but management system. And so it's like, we have not that long ago met, but it's kind of crazy because we're in the same industry and in the same area, the DMV. And so it's an honor to, really get to know her. And we have had some great times together and really are planning for more great things in the future. So welcome, Arnetta.
Wow. Welcome, Arnetta. And if you can please share a little bit more about you. I love the synchronicities that Mickey just pointed out. And the KPIs are so important for any business to even be aware of. Arnetta, please share more.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Asha and Mickey, for having me on the show. I am very grateful to be here on this platform with you all. And hi, April. But I am exactly what Mickey said. I help aspiring entrepreneurs manage legitimate businesses while leveraging health and wealth solutions using digital optimization, which is integrated within Envibe software. And I couldn't agree with you more, Asha, about the KPI. That's one of the things in our industry we tend to overlook. We all know what gets measured, Mickey.
It gets moved. It's like it starts to move.
That improved.
Yeah, exactly.
Goes up.
Yes, absolutely. So, just for those who don't know who I am a business solutionist, a best-selling author, a beauty industry innovator dedicated to guiding beauty professionals toward business success and generational wealth. I own an insurance agency, lead a team of licensed producers across multiple states, and I serve as a business and life skills coach, which I love to hand over to Mickey because she fits that bill. We have, collaborated with working together with Envibe software and its clients. But I also hold a master's degree in professional cosmetology with over 30 years in the beauty industry, and was elected president of the Maryland State chapter under the National Beauty Culturist League. And lastly, of course, I am a former professor of the National Beauty Culturist League and CEO of Envibe Salon Software and Magazine. So,
oh my goodness, Arnetta, I'm so honored that you've had a time to share with us your wisdom, share with us your leadership, and not only your success, but a great knowledge about that, right? Because what we read in the books is fantastic, but only if we have a chance to actually live through it, achieve so much, then we know we're coming from the prosperity, profitability mindset. And I love that you both, Mickey and Arnetta, you join the two beauties for me. Beauty from outside also, but beauty from inside, which is the wisdom and wealth and prosperity.
Yes.
So bravo. Thank you so much. Thank you. Last but not least, let me add Pam to the stage.
Yes.
And Mickey, hello, Pam.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
Can you please share something about Pam, and then Pam will have a chance to introduce herself as well.
Absolutely. Yes, my pleasure. Pam is a personal finance and business finance expert. She is an amazing person. It's like she's also got a heart of gold. It's like I really feel like I'm so blessed to just be surrounded by some really, really amazing women. And she and I share that we are both very tall, and so we have that in common. But she is actually just so knowledgeable about investing, about just the basics of financial literacy. So I'll let her tell more, but it's like there's pieces that we really, really need as women. A lot of times, we're actually in that group I was mentioning together. She's one of the other members, and women in finance, and the wifey came to be because it's like typically as a woman, it's like we're either a wife, aspiring to be a wife, or a wife, through loss of our partner or divorce. And a lot of times we're unprepared for those different life circumstances. So
Yeah, that's so true.
yeah, so take it away, Pam.
Well, first, I'm just so honored to be a part of this panel. Hey, April. And thank you again, Mickey, for the opportunity, for the invite. Thank you, Asha, for the opportunity as well. Nice to meet you,
Such a pleasure.
Arnetta. Just a little bit about me. Like Mickey said, I am, my specialty is personal finance for women, for everybody, but particular for women, and as well as small business retirement strategies. Like Nikki said, I believe that women, we just are not having the conversation about money. Yeah, I say to people all the time, we talk about everything else in our girlfriend groups. We talk about everything but money. And so my goal is just to open up and just have the conversation. I feel like that women have a lot of embarrassment, shame, guilt over either making money or not knowing what to do with money. And the fact that most women end up in poverty and retirement, having really been able to see my mom go through that season in her life, I'm really inspired to help women make sure that we just have the conversation, that we feel as good as talking about our shoes and getting the bag as we do about money, saving it, making it, and investing it. So I believe 6 figures ought to be the minimum wage for women. And so that's my goal, is to help us reach that and do it, based on ethical kingdom principles, and knowing that being wealthy does not equate to being a bad person or being greedy, but just living an abundant, fabulous life. So that's just a little bit about me.
I love that, Pam. Thank you so much for sharing. It's so important. That's why I love to have that conversation about prosperity, profitability, money. Obviously, prosperity and profitability is not just money and wealth, but it's a huge part of it, right? Like you said, and being a recovering attorney, I was an attorney for 12 years. Prior to that, divorces, so family law, probate, and taxes. So I looked through a lot of divorces, like you said, or probate and taxes, obviously, when women did not really have a chance to shine, or it was not in a good tone for them to be a financial literate. And that financial literacy, it's so highly needed, in a world, in not only in America, everywhere, right? In the world, especially in women communities. So I'm so glad that you have this courage. You're such a leader to bring this bring this topic and so openly initiate discussion about investment and profitability in life. I absolutely love that. Thank you so much for being a part of it.
Thank you.
Ladies, let's kick off this amazing panel of these powerful, wonderful leaders with a question. So I would love your opinion. Why do you think, speaking about wealth, prosperity, profitability, why is so important, and why having this mindset? Because essentially it's a mindset and our beliefs, right? Self-beliefs. Why is so crucial when we are becoming the great leaders in our community, right? The correlation in between. Who would like to go first?
I guess I can jump in there.
Come on. All right.
Yeah, well, one of the things that I'll say, like working when I talk to people about pricing, sometimes I'll ask, like, have you ever had like kind of this feeling when someone asks you how much do you charge? And it's like, yeah, it's like the pit of my stomach just dropped and I don't know what to say now. And it's so emotional. The topic of money is emotional. The topic of pricing is emotional. And it triggers different things. We all learn different things depending on where we are, how we grew up, what our parents taught us, our friends, our teachers, all of, churches. We have all of these different beliefs, and a lot of them are limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
And so it's really important that we kind of look at some of them and say, like, is this true? As a pricing strategist, when I mention prices, they, like the first thing is like, no, I can't raise my prices because I'll lose all my clients. But there's no foundation to back that up. When I ask them, how many people do you know that raised their prices and lost all their clients? And they're like, oh, well, either I can't think of anyone, or maybe I knew one person or something. And there were some other factors that were part of that probably. But like typically you're not going to lose all of your clients. Obviously you want to do it smartly and do it in a way that will minimize pushback and make it feel that people are comfortable with it. But one of the things or reasons that people come to me as a coach is that they want to increase their income and they want to increase their profits. And when I talk about pricing, that's one of the fastest ways to do both. And so I think that's one of the main important reasons for it. And sometimes it can feel like, oh, you're talking about money, you're talking about, greed, or I'll feel like I'm too pushy, or, like we, especially as women, don't want to feel like we're, taking advantage of anyone, that we're not concerned about them or their pockets or what have you. But, in reality, it's like raising their prices allows them to buy their time back, to have more peace and less stress, to have more time to spend and money to spend on different things that are important to them rather than just work. So I think that would be my answer. And then, as women expand because of the way that we are, it's like it helps our whole community.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that we talk about money as a relationship because it is emotional. It touches upon our triggers, right? So maybe the triggers coming from the trauma, the demonization of money, like money doesn't grow on trees, money is bad, the wealthy people are bad, or whatever we've been programmed to believe as kids, which has nothing to do with success. Because think about this, I remember someone telling me, I've met equal amount of bad people that are wealthy and very poor. So there's this one thing. And then if we have the prosperity mindset, if we have the high profitability in our businesses, guess what? Not only we are able to take care of our families, of our loved ones, but we are able to contribute to the world, to contribute to causes we really care about, right? Only then. And then has nothing to do with scarcity and being a bad or good person or whatnot. We are here in a planet to make a huge difference, and cultivating that in us and in our family is a key in successful mindsets. Thank you so much, Miki. I love that. Who is next?
I'll go next.
Go ahead.
And
go ahead.
Really want to piggyback on what you said. I think it's a mindset. I think it has a lot to do with limiting beliefs. And a lot of those limiting beliefs are based on how we were raised, the environment we were raised on. For example, I'll say, if you were raised in the South, which I was, and also raised in the church, so to speak, there were a lot of limiting beliefs about women, whether we had a voice, whether we could speak up, whether it was in the pulpit or whether it was in your home. And then I believe, the way you're taught about money is the money is the root of all evil, and I think it's taken out of context, it's taken out of context, and those things stick with us. And, just speaking for, the African American community, it was more of, don't go in this store, money doesn't grow on trees. And it could be in every community. I'm just saying what I heard, right? Don't ask for anything, money doesn't grow on trees. And it was a scarcity mentality, a poverty mentality that we all kind of had to break out of. And I think that comes with personal development and growth and learning that money is not the root of all energy. Money is a resource, right? Money is an energy, it's a vibration. And really being okay. Men don't have a problem with making money. They don't have a problem talking about money. So why should we?
Isn't that incredible? The bigger the better.
Right.
Right.
And, I think to your point that, women, we've come a long way, the suffrages, the voting, we see what's happening now. I think it is emotional. As we are emotional beings, it is tied to that limiting belief, that childhood of, you just got to do with what you have and you got to make it work. And so I'm always amazed at why people don't want to make more money. Like, you don't want to make extra money. Like, I don't understand that whole concept of, like, you want an abundant life and you want to get the bag and secure the bag and do all this stuff with the bag, but then you don't want to make extra money. Like, I don't understand. That doesn't make sense.
It's a disconnect, complete disconnect, right? Because like you said, it's an energy, right? It's a freedom that we can have with the prosperity, with the money, with the wealth as well.
Absolutely. And I was just going to add too, to kind of piggyback off of what both Mickey and Pam were saying, because I think about it in my industry when I'm sitting down with someone to talk to them about purchasing a home. And statistically right now, single women are the number one home buyers in this country right now. And I think what needs to happen when we're talking about, for me, when I'm talking about real estate, it's really about mindset. Prosperity is a mindset. It's not just the money, it's the mindset. And I think a lot of times what happens is we see it happening for someone else, but we don't believe it can happen for us. And that's where more of us, and I'm glad we're on this platform today, but we all have stories to tell. And that's why sharing our story is so important, because more people need to hear it. So I'm very transparent. Most of my clients, they'll tell you that, and they've probably all heard my story because I'm not shy about sharing it. I'm not shy about saying I had $50,000 of credit card debt. I don't today, but I did. And I didn't have a plan when I had it. And it was a matter of sitting down with someone and getting some counsel to work my way out of that. But people need to hear that story. They need to hear how real estate changed my life, literally. Owning real estate changed my life, and it changed the life of my children. So real estate, of course, we know is a great way to start to build wealth. And most wealthy people that we know, it began for them by owning real estate. It's just first property. And then we can kind of go from there. And I think, like I said, it's that mindset of I saw it for someone and I don't know that it can happen for me. And that's why more of us as women need to talk. It's okay. We can speak up now and we can share our truth and share our stories so that we can affect change, and so that more women can hear our stories and know that, yes, it's okay for you to make those six figures. It's okay for you to go in that designer store and get that bag if it's affordable for you. Right? Like, don't be the first April. I'm the second April now, I say. First April was in there with a credit card. Second April, cash. I got it. Right? And again, it's the cycle. It's just a matter of going through, but a matter of sharing that story so people can hear it. So I'm glad we're on here today to talk about that.
Yes, you, April, I love it. Oh my gosh, the powerful voice, the powerful voice. And you know what? I strongly believe that every single human being can create the multi-million dollar business or lifestyle they dream
Yes.
about and they deserve. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because those are the times right now. There's so many opportunities that we can leverage. Like April talk about real estate. Oh my goodness, real estate is
Mm-hmm.
not only the basic necessity right now, but it can
Yes.
be a great tool, one of those,
Mm-hmm.
to create our wealth, our legacy, right? So safety first, obviously, but taking risks are good, right? But
Mm-hmm.
we have to take risks and make a change only when we coming from the prosperity mentality, because this is our goal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love that. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
I do too.
Arnetta, you are, please, share your wisdom with us.
Well, you know what? You all are amazing. I just have to say that I can feel the energy and the wealth of knowledge coming off of you. And I just want to add personal development. With leadership, we have to look within first to develop that confidence so that we could eliminate the limiting beliefs, because the battle is really with ourselves, right? Let's start there. We may have this big idea or this vision to help others, but you have to start with self first. And for me, I'm still working on self, right? I am still building this empire that I could share my process with. Um, and I find that personal development is number one. It's key to having the confidence to take a risk, right? Because like me, my husband is a 9 to 5er, right? I'm an entrepreneur, and I've been an entrepreneur since the age of 19, and it has worked for me. But for many, they think I'm crazy. They could never, right? They could never, because their limiting beliefs allow them to say, hey, I have to work for someone in order to feel secure. Where my time is, it's not enough hours. They don't pay me enough for my time. I rather build in my own kingdom and wait 15 years for 30 million rather than wait until I'm 65 for the 401k. That's just how my mindset is built, but not everyone is built that way. And so I would add to leadership personal development, having the courage, having the wherewithal to break down those barriers. Because most entrepreneurs that I know, they are innovators. They break down barriers. They do things that other people dare not do. They are, oh, we're lost. We're losing Asha.
Oh,
We are, they're doing things that others will not dare to do. So again, I would bring personal development, adaptability, empowerment, and being a visionary and standing on it. No one is perfect, but in that process, understand that you got to do the work. You're not just going to end up in this place that they say envision the end first. Yeah, but that process to get to that end, it's going to take some time, it's going to take some patience, and it's going to take some work. And that's why I think a lot of people with their limiting beliefs don't get it done. They rather sit on the sidelines and say, oh, you're doing good, girl. I wish I could be that way. Well, you can. You can. So, I would encourage others in that know they have that fight or that leadership, within them to, build up yourself, your confidence, and do the work and become a part of a group, an organization, get a coach, such as Mickey Wright, or, get some real estate, call April, and Pam or Asha, someone on this panel that could help you organize and strategize and feel good while you're in the process.
Yes, indeed.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Arnett. That was so inspirational. By the way, I can see that I'm in and out already because the storm just started. So don't be surprised. We just power through it, right? But I hope that we will able to finish our amazing, inspiring discussion because I love what we've been already said. So I want to ask you a next question, because a big part of prosperity mindset, it is being resilient, right? It is really taking on the opportunities that maybe no one else would take because they scared, but we did, because we made that shift from scarcity mentality to prosperity mentality. So my question for you is, could you give us an example of an opportunity you took, risk you took, that elevated you to the prosperity profitability mindset?
Can I take that, Asha?
Yes,
Well,
please.
can I go first on that? Oh my goodness! Listen, I was had come from behind the chair in 2014, right? I had a vision. God spoke to me, literally tapped me on my shoulder and said, I need you to do this, because I had a salon in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Salon Suites in Maryland. I would go back and forth every 2 weeks for 7 years. Okay, because I had clientele on both ends and I loved what I did, right? And I would have time on the road to think. That was my space to, blossom and just listen to the Lord and be in a place of solemn, right? But he told me that I would have to give it all up to do what he needed to do, right? One of my stylists, doing CIAA, she said to me that she couldn't manage. She didn't know how, she didn't have enough to pay her rent. And I thought, oh my God, you've been doing this forever and I see you making thousands of dollars. How can you not have her rent at home, that is? And so I said, wait a minute, that's about management. She didn't have any business management skills or even some life skills. And so while they're looking at me thinking it's easy, I just knew how to, structure things. I had a role model. My mom was there, right? However, God tapped me on my shoulder and he said, you have to, something needs to be done here. And you're the one for the job. And my mind, this was before the software. This was before the insurance agency, right? And I thought, oh my goodness, I have my clientele. What am I going to do? He said, you got to come from behind the chair. You have to leave it all behind because the assignment needs your undivided attention. And you just have to give that up. It took me 2 years to listen to what he said to do. That was 2012. 2014, I came from behind the chair and I stepped out on faith. I asked my husband, hey, can I do this? Because I'm going to need your support, right? Because it was going from my income now to his. Now I'm a good manager, right? And even sometimes you got to rob Peter to pay Paul, but it's all in the same pot. And you move those, the money around so that it could, take care of your needs. And we did that. I went to school. We started at ground zero. It took me 3 years to get all of my credentials, a master of this, and all of these things that I needed to do to get the credibility to fulfill the assignment. And every step of the way, God put things in my place and in my way and in my path and people to say, keep going. You're on the right path. 7 years into now, since 2017, we have the software built out, and now I'm on the stage in NASDAQ. And I graduate August the 15th, and we'll have my face on, I won't give it away, but when you all see it, right? That's the big pow wow, like this is so awesome. So when God gives you an assignment, don't be afraid of the work, because if he gives you the vision, he'll give you the provision to do all of the things. No, it's not going to be easy, and life is hard. So I would be lying to you if I said that the pathway is easy, but it's so rewarding that I would not change it for the world. Did my husband get tired? Yes. Did my children get tired? Yes. But they understand, not understood, because I'm still in it and it's growing and God is magnifying it, but they understand the assignment. And I understand that I'm built for it. So I'm okay with the naysayers. I'm okay with those who don't believe in what I do, because I've been made a promise. And I know that as long as I do the work and I serve the people with what he told me to do, it's going to all work itself out. So I just had to, it was burning in me. It jumped off of me, Asha, when you said that. So yeah, that is my story.
That's incredible. Who is next?
Powerful.
I love it. I'm gonna jump in now. I feel like we're playing double dutch, so I'm gonna jump on in. And that is it. I love your story. I can relate so much. I feel like I've always been a risk taker. I've always been the one to try the business aspect. So I'll back up. I mean, you got me so excited and pumped up. I'm like, I'm ready to go to work. Because I love what I do, and I love being around like-minded, passionate women. And this is just so inspiring. To answer Asha's question, the risks I took that elevated my level of prosperity, I think it was in multiple stages. But I will say, when I joined the company that I'm with, I knew that this is where God would have me. And I am not in a traditional business. And sometimes we get a little shade about that. However, it is a great opportunity for anyone that desires to be an entrepreneur and to teach you how to do business. There's so many facets of being a business. One of our slogans is you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. So you have coaches along the way. You have people to keep you inspired and keep you in the game and help to show you what the end is going to look like. And so I'll share that I've always believed that there was wealth and prosperity on my life, always, like even from a child. And I know it had to be God, because I can't think of any other big thing that told me that. Well, my dad was a business person, and growing up, I guess we were like middle class. I always thought we were rich till I went to college, and I had to ask my mom to send me some money. She sent me like $20. I was like, well, what happened? Did y'all go broke when I left to go to college? But I realized that they were just good at keeping the balls in the air. They were both teachers. and we never wanted for anything. So it felt like what rich must feel like. Well, in 2015, my dad passed away. And my dad did not have life insurance. He was a former teacher, he was a businessman, but he didn't have life insurance. And I just really never thought about it. I was like, you just assume that your parents have it together. And I mean, I guess I just never thought about him not being here. And so my husband and I have been married 5 years, and we had never talked about it. My husband's executive chef, French classically trained in Le Cordon Bleu. So he's a great chef. And we had great jobs. You know, I've been a partner in mental health agency. I was in mental health for 20 years prior to being in finance. And I was a state director. I was a program director. We had the what do they call it? Poor rich life or whatever. We look good, look shiny on the outside. We had the BMW, the Range Rover, but on the inside, we were playing basketball with Peter, John, Matthew, Luke, and all of them because we were moving stuff around. Right, I was moving it around. But the risk I took was, and the risk my husband took was trusting in I could do this. I know this is what I'm supposed to do. I know that I am my dad's legacy. I know that people need this because if we're living like this and nobody has talked to us, you know, we didn't learn it from home, we didn't learn it in church, nobody is talking about it in corporate America. Surely there are other people out there that need this. Um, and I'll be very transparent. I've always been able to have money and good jobs. I just wasn't a good manager of it. I like shopping. I like being a girl and I like pretty things. And so, you know, that was Pam number one, right? And, you know, we went through many, many years of her. And so I thought it was just like God to take the foolish things to confound the wise. I was like, are you sure you want me to be in finance? Like, you sure you picked the right one? Because, you know, I like to shop, Lord. And so through the process, it has taught me how to have a respect of money, that knowing that he is my source, right? Money is a resource. And when I made that shift to realize that it wasn't about the money, it was more about him. And I quit corporate America in 2018. My husband says I didn't tell him, but I know I did because I talk all the time. I quit corporate America in 2018 and went full time in business. 2020, we became regional vice presidents with the company. 21, we clicked over six figures. And I knew that I could help people. I knew, you know, I don't have a problem listening and following if I know that you're going to add value and you've been through some things in your life and you can relate. And I think that's what the draw is to women, is that we all fundamentally have the same challenges and issues and problems, whether we're a wife, daughter, mother, sister, aunt, we can relate to each other. And so for me, the risk was quitting my job and going all in, trusting God and believing in myself that I could make this happen. Like, I was determined to retire my husband. He was in the pandemic help, but he was in a grueling industry. Like, I never saw him. He was working 20-hour days, and it was just, our lifestyle was out of whack. I would wait until like 12 o'clock midnight for him to get home, and then we eating a full course meal. So that was just like, then he was up like at 3 and 4, and I was like, if I can make this work, if I can do what they tell me, if I can make $10,000 a month, he can retire, or he can have more choices, or he can do something different. And it wasn't just, you know, I think about me, it was, how can I elevate this marriage, this relationship, this life? Like, we not living, we just existing. And I was like, okay, Lord, you brought me here. I know my assignment. let's get it done. And, you know, I do honor him and give him praise, honor, and glory because he has sustained us. And every level of elevation, it helps increase my husband's faith. You know, it's not just Pam is doing it, but I'm like, it's not me, like for real, it's God. And I think that is when the shift for me was when I said, okay, I'm gonna be all in, God. I'm gonna do it because I want you to get the glory and honor. And after that, you know, doors just kind of started opening. So that was it for me, leaving corporate America in 2018. But I had to tell y'all all of that so y'all could get it.
That totally makes sense. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Pam. Ladies, let's do this. By the way, my storm is in full bloom right now. So I have to mute myself because my boys are so scared. They start barking. Oh my God. Anyway, Mickey and April, please share your experience and the opportunity that you were so courageous to take.
You want to go, April?
I'll go first. And it's so funny because I have so many. And I was like, April, you got to pick one to tell, just because I feel like, especially the last 12 years of my life has been a risk in and of itself. But I'll say one of the things more recently is writing my book. And, you know, I was hesitant. The idea of this book, I've had it for over 3 years, the idea to do it. And I will say today, on July 24th, my biggest regret is that I didn't do it initially. I should have done it 3 years ago. But for me, it was being afraid and, oh, no one's going to want to hear what she has to say. And, oh, how can she tell a real estate agent how to run their business? And she's a loan officer. April, stay in your lane, you know, and that's the thing. That's how we talk to ourselves. Yeah. No one said that to me. I said it to myself. Right. And I let that linger, 3 years before I even actually did the book. But what's crazy is if you told me a year ago that my book was going to hit Amazon and in the first 2 weeks be an Amazon bestseller, I would not have believed you. Right. I would not have believed it. But I'm so glad I did it. Because there are people who want to hear what I have to say. Yes. There are people who need that information because they see the lavish, you know, and not for all, but a lot of times in real estate, you all see all that stuff. First of all, real estate is not selling sunset. I love the show. Don't get me wrong. But there's more to it than that, right? But that's what we all see. We see the glitz and glam. We see the photo shoots, and you know, we got our designer outfits on, and we're walking in this $1 million mansion, you know, and all these things. But you don't see, that's what you see on social media, but you don't see the behind the scenes. And I'm like, April, someone needs this information because someone is thinking and they're looking online and saying, oh, I want to do that. But they need to know what's happening behind it that's actually enabling and allowing those individuals that we do see on social media to live the way that they live and what they're doing, right? Because it's more of you see the glory and you don't know the story, right? It's a story behind it. We're talking about our glory, but there's story behind it. There's that wave of emotion. Like that's what happens when you're in business for yourself. Yes. It's a wave of emotions. Like 1 minute you're up and 2 hours later, just one phone call will knock you down, you know? You're like, gracious. So again, it's all about mindset, but I would say that risk was for me with the book. So, and I say this to anyone now when I'm speaking publicly about this, if there's something on your heart to do or something that you feel like you've been called to do, you got to realize there are certain things that only you will do, that you can do. Right. And that you need to do. So if it's laid upon you to do it, go ahead and just do it. Let go of the fear. Stop talking to yourself and saying all those terrible things about yourself because it's not true. And you do have a story to tell and you do have something to say. And it's all about being a person of value to someone because it's unfortunate, but most people's attitudes are with them, right? What's in it for me? Well, we've all got a story or something that we're doing, even with our businesses, that is helpful to someone else. So why not share the wealth? So that's my big my big risk is putting that book out there, because they're like, oh, April's a loan officer. Girl, stay behind that desk looking at those tax returns. What are you writing a book for? You know? But it was one of the best decisions I've made. I've had so many opportunities open up for me just from having the book. Even this morning was invited on a national platform just because of my book. Mm-hmm. It has opened so many doors just beyond what I do. Yeah, it's been great.
Fantastic. What a story, April. Mickey.
Yeah, that is incredible, April. So congratulations too. Yeah. Super exciting. And for me, it's like I'm actually going like way back to my beginnings. And I grew up as a second generation hairstylist. My mom was a stylist, and I didn't think anything about it. I didn't think, I'd go into it. I didn't think I wouldn't go into it, but it's like I ended up kind of falling into it, where I did someone's hair and there was just all this excitement. You could just quit your job and do this. And so it was like, okay. So I went to school in Texas, which is where I was living. And the next day after I took my test, I actually moved across country to Washington, D.C., because that's where I wanted to start my career. So I looked for a great place to find a great mentor, because I always believe, like, if somebody else is like bumped their head already, then why do I need to bump my head? Why don't I get with them? And so I found a great place to work, but I struggled. I wasn't making enough money to pay my bills, and I had to make a really hard decision, like devastating decision, to like give up my dream and go and get a real job. So I did that, and then thought it would take about a year, but then 6 months later, I was like back in the salon full time and able to, fix myself and everything. But one of the things that was, I guess, really makes a shift in the trajectory is I worked in a salon that was full when I found it. There were no spaces available, and I called every day, every week, are you ready to hire me? Are you ready to bring me on? Because like, this is where I want to work. And I finally got brought on, and there were probably 10 people, 7 guys and 3 women and myself, two other women and myself. There were 10 of us. What I noticed was all of the men charged more than the women. Mm-hmm. And even after struggling and wondering, lots of self-doubt, do I have what it takes? Do I have any talent? Should I be doing this? All of those things. There was something in me that made me make the decision. It's like, I'm not charging less. It's like, I'm bringing good whatever to this table. And it's like, I'm going to charge more what the guys charge than what the women that I work with charge. And when it's like, you start out, it's almost like slicing a pie. It's like you have that knife in there, and you're like, okay, I'm just going to turn it a little bit more so I can get a little bit bigger piece. But it's like, it's not much of a change on the inside of the pie, but the outside of the pie changes a lot. So it's like, it shifts. I feel like it shifted my trajectory in terms of my earnings and in terms of how I guided, when I got my own business, how I guided my own team so that they were not, like willing. And I don't know what that was inside of me. It's like I said, my mom is a great mentor, and she's, like no nonsense, great business owner, and, opened up 3 locations of her business. But there was something inside of me that just said, no, that doesn't make any sense. And so I'm just grateful for that, which, is God, Yeah. And grateful. And, it's like we talked about confidence. Like I heard so much in Arnetta's, like her confidence in herself. It's like I heard April with, like all the self-doubt questions that we all get. And it's like really help having that what have you. And then the faith that Pam had, it's like, okay, I know this is on my life. I don't know how to do it. I don't know what the road's going to look like, but I've got to do it. And you mentioned the luxury business blueprint. It's like one of the first step we talk about is confidence. We have to build your confidence before you can take these steps, because the actual pricing piece is simple, but your mouth won't do it if your mind isn't in alignment. So it's like, I think that was a big risk that paid off really well, like moving cross country and going through the downhill struggle and still standing in, I have something of value to share. And so I really, built a great relationships with all of my clients, and I think sometimes we get confused with nice, but it's like, I think if we look for respect versus people thinking we're nice per se, that we go much further and that we're able to have much more impact. So that was one riff.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how much of that you heard. Are you okay over there?
Well, I am just so, I'm not sure if you can hear me okay. We're going to be wrap it up so we can have a chance to share our how to connect.
Uh-oh. She's stuck. April, you want to start?
Yeah, sure. So my website is homewithapril.com. Pretty much everything about me is there. Links to my socials. If anyone, wants to talk about their finances, wants to talk about how they can buy a property, you can, of course, schedule a consultation with me. There's a link there on that site as well. So again, homewithapril.com.
Okay, I'm trying to type in the chat too. Arnetta?
Yes. For those who would like to reach me, you could join my private Facebook group, Beauty, Brains, and Business, and reach me on the website, beandvibe.com. For those of you who are listening, I will offer you a 30-day free trial of the software. Just request a demo and add Mickey Wright to your scheduling right from the website. So again, I am also on LinkedIn and Facebook, Arnetta Rogers. But I would love to have you in my private Facebook group because we are sharing great and valuable information in there. Beauty, Brains, and Business on Facebook.
Thank you. And Pam?
Thank you.
Oh, Asha's back. Hi. We just oh no. Something happened with the sound. I don't know if you guys hear that.
Yeah, I heard it.
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me, Mickey?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. How you can reach me is the rich auntie _ PB. That's my IG. Facebook is Pam Snipes Bradford. DM me. I am working on my whole Linktree website information. And my free gift is just going to be a free financial checkup. I have this amazing new technology that just started using. It's a 5-minute survey, basically gives you a snapshot with results. And then we can develop a financial prosperity plan from there. So thank you so much.
Okay, tell me the rich auntie. I heard there's an underscore in there somewhere. I missed that. Pam, where does the
Okay, it's the rich auntie with the IE on the end _ PB. That's IG.
Oh, _ PB. Okay, I missed that part. Got it. Okay. Are you able to speak?
All right.
Okay, and so I'll share mine.
Thank you so much, ladies. Yeah, I am so grateful for your wisdom, and I'm sure we can do it again. I invite you highly, every single one of you, to be also my co-host, probably in much better weather on my end. So I'm not sure if you can still hear me, but I am so impressed with all your stories and your courage and your resilience to achieve everything you wanted in life. So I'm full of gratitude. So I'm going to wrap up right now. And my boys are going crazy right now. So my apologies for the background noise. And stay a little bit behind the scenes, and I will just put some outro on. All right, 1 second. Let me move you back to the stage. Yeah. Wonderful. And then